Yes, feel the quality. Oh. Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from ModelMaking.guru here. Hello and welcome to a new build series from my very good friends over at emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Yes, hello and welcome. Can you guess what we're you know what we're building. We're building the big perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Yes we are, big fat Falcon. Now, if you're not familiar with Bandai, very awesome Japanese model manufacturer. They've got the license to make Star Wars kits. Well, they've got the license to make the good Star Wars kits, whereas Revell have got the license to make the terrible Star Wars kits. So yeah, we're on the Bandai side here. This is their perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Now, if you don't know about the grade system they use, it's mostly for their Gunpla kits because they do Gunpla, but they have different grades. And perfect grade, like master grade, high grade, perfect grade is their absolute pinnacle of design. They are the most complex, most detailed, most expensive kits that they do. Now they only do one perfect grade Star Wars kit, and that is this one. Now there are two versions of this, and we'll talk about that in a bit. We are going to be building the perfect grade Millennium Falcon with the lighting kit and the water slide decals. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick look at what's in the box and tell you what the plan is. There are 36 sprues, so I kind of need to go through this quickly. So it's not going to be a very exciting episode, this one, but it's just a here's what we're going to do. So I'll move this big massive box that's in the way, and we'll start having a look at what comes in this big massive box. It's huge. Now let's have a look inside. Lots of fluff and blurb talking about the ship itself. Now, the first thing with any Bandai kit, the first thing it shows you is always all the sprues. So get your box open, have a look and make sure you have all the relevant sprues. There are 36 of them. There are many sprues. And it always shows you everything, so make sure you've got everything in the box. One other thing, and it doesn't really apply to this kit, but it'll be handy if you need to do any gluing, if you break something and need to repair it. They always also tell you in the instructions what type of plastic it is. All these sprues have the word PS in brackets at the end. Now this means it's polystyrene, so you can use your standard Tamiya extra thin, your Tamiya regular glue, your Tamiya quick setting glue, anything like that, your Revell contactor. Any polystyrene cement will be fine. I don't think there are any other plastic types in here, but sometimes you will find Bandai using ABS, so you would need to get a specific ABS or multi-plastic glue for that. But we have all polystyrene, apart from these ones which you're not going to be gluing, and they're kind of weird plastic. I don't actually know what they are, but yeah, it's all polystyrene. So if you do need to do any gluing, Tamiya extra thin and Tamiya regular glue and regular polystyrene cement will be fine. Lots of instructions. We have a whole section on the lighting, and this is just how to set up the lighting and make sure all the LEDs work. If you know me, I don't do elastic trickery, I don't do the electric side at all, and I'm allergic to doing any kind of lighting, but this comes with the lighting kit. Oh, that's one thing I meant to tell you before you go anywhere. If you are thinking of getting this, very important, there are two versions of the Millennium Falcon, the perfect grade. Now, it's very important if you want the right one that you get the right one. The box I showed you at the start, the big black box with the very faint ghosty image of the Falcon, it doesn't say anything on that apart from perfect grade Millennium Falcon. This means it's the special lighting edition with the lighting kit and the water slide decals. If you get the outside box, it's a big black box and it's got a colour photograph of the Falcon, like almost like that, but it's at an angle, and it says standard version, you need to be aware that version comes with stickers, not water slide decals for all the markings, and it doesn't come with the lighting kit. It's the slightly cheaper version, but you need to know what you're getting yourself in for. If you're not bothered about the fact it's got stickers and you can paint all the markings anyway, then you're fine, just get the standard version. If you want though, and you'll see when we show you the decals later on why you might want the decal version, if you want a billionty little tiny markings and to not have to paint all the coloured panels, and you want the lighting kit because you don't want to do your own, you want to go for the more bigger version, which doesn't say anything on it other than just perfect grade. It just says that. on the box. It doesn't say standard version, so be aware when you know which one you're getting or which one you want, make sure you get the right one. If you're not sure, ask. But yes, make sure if you want the one with the lighting kit, it doesn't say standard version on it. So we have lots of blurb, then we start with the construction, and for some reason with Millennium Falcon over the years it's always the cockpit you start with. I know, and I'm going to take all the jokes about me never getting past the cockpit on the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon. I will make you this promise, for those of you who know the in-joke about me not finishing that Falcon. I will get this finished, it will be finished and completed beyond the cockpit and everything else, and there will be, the final episode will be episode 6. So we're just going through the instructions bit by bit. They're using the 3D CAD renders, and they're often showing you, rather because there's like a million little tiny parts to stick on. Instead of just showing every single individual parts, a lot of them, they're just showing them many on one and a blow up to show you how they all align. So it's fairly straightforward. Sorry for the jump cut there. Quick bit of information I forgot to add that I'm going to add now. You need to watch these little boxes at the bottom of the pages, specifically because in certain places you'll be asked to apply stickers. Now I know this is the water slide version of the kit. We get the full water slide decal set, but you do get a little sheet of black stickers. I think they're for light blocking, but we'll find out as we go along. I've not built them yet, and they seem to go on the inside of the upper hull plate here, and there might be some other places. Again, I've not fully gone through the instructions. You need to be really wary of these because the symbol for sticker and decal is the same. It's like a little sheet of paper with the end curled over, except for stickers the number is in a square, and for water slide decals the number is in a circle, and it will tell you at the bottom sticker number or decal number. So whenever you're going through this and you see the call outs for a sticker or a decal, just double check before you start peeling things off or sticking water slides on. Double check whether it says sticker or decal. This is the only page I've seen so far, but we'll find more as we go along if there are. So just keep an eye on that and don't trip up for that. And then we've got through all this nonsense, get the whole thing built. There's a billion pages of it, and by the end of it you've got this massive call out for all the decals. And I'm just going to show you decals, decals, decals. Yeah, there's a lot of decals. We'll have a look at those in a bit. So that is the destruction manual. Now for the next lot, I'm just going to go through the sprues really quickly, and I'll just count them off so you can see them. There's not much to show you. I'll dwell on the first one to give you a look at the quality, but after that I'll just whiz through them because I don't want to be here all day. Okay, I'm going to start off by showing you this panel here. This is the famous engine bit from the back of the hull. The reason I want to show you this one first is for the amazing detail on here. I want to show you how good the moulding is. I've built a lot of Falcons in my time, and this is just pants moisteningly insane. I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but the crispness and delicateness of some of these details is just mind-boggling. These panels here, they are, if I remember correctly, the upper hull back end of either King Tiger or Panzer IV Tamiya 135th kit. On the studio model they just cut this piece out of a Tamiya kit and stuck it on the back. And most of the kits I built with the Falcon, this has been like a raised platform, maybe a couple of millimeters, just because of the limitations of the moulding process. Even on the fine moulds one, it's quite a big chunky piece. On this, it's like a millimetre high, half a millimetre, a micron. It's like the size of an atom. It is insane. So the detail on this, there's little sort of raised bits and ribbed bits. There's a grill texture in there. I don't know if you'll be able to focus on it for you. There's a little grill texture in there. It's just outstanding. So yeah, I can guarantee you when you get this built up, it will be the most detailed, the most accurate Falcon kit you have ever made. That is sprue number 1. Next up we have this big bad boy. It's the upper hull? Yes, upper hull forward section, and you can see again we've got lots of fine beautiful detail, and we've also got some of the battle damage moulded in. Now if you built the fine moulds one, you'll know that none of this battle damage existed on the model. They did have like a scrapey effect on the decal that went here, but you're on your own if you wanted to put this battle damage in. But on this, because it's moulded in, they include things like under these little dimples here where the rectenna would go, these little impacts or blaster marks, they have little details underneath just to add to the realism, so it looks like there's something underneath. When I did my last fine moulds one, I just made the little holes and that was it. That's all I could do. But this has got little bits of details and stuff under there, which is really nice. That's sprue number 2. Next up, we have more hull plating. This is the lower hull. I think this is the front of the lower hull, and you've got more beautiful detail. A couple of gaps here for the maintenance bays, and we've got some of the walls of the side escape pod sort of raised areas as well. So this is sprue number 3. Sprue number 4, not too much on here, a couple of bits for the engine and some of the plating that goes around the top of the hull, or the engine area on the hull. It looks kind of like a, I don't know, it's got kind of a Bajoran console look to it, maybe a Cardassian look to it. I'm just talking rubbish now. Sprue number 4. Next up we have the lovely, beautiful details. Look at this. This is part from, these are bits from inside the mandibles. Mandibles. And look at that. That is, you rarely find that kind of detail on an actual model kit anyway, but to find it on here, I really struggle to think of a manufacturer that can get that crisp and that fine. I'm looking at this piece here and I'm comparing to what I remember of the fine molds one looking like, and it was nowhere near that. It was just not even comparable. For a long time the fine molds was the gold standard for Millennium Falcon kits, but now compared to this, it's carved out of a lump of rock and made of pebbles. And it's still a brilliant kit, it's beautiful, it's just, it doesn't compare to this. So yeah, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. That is sprue number 5. Number 6, more hull plating. This time it's the big fat butt. Yes, it's the butt end. This is the underneath, and it looks fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. You can see here, this bit is where the ramp will go, because there's a big hole. This bit's pre-molded in, and you can see here again they've given you some battle damage. Now I could be wrong here, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain this battle damage didn't exist on the New Hope Falcon. Now this is modelled on the New Hope Falcon. It says in the book we based it on the New Hope Falcon that we looked at what you know, Lucasfilm. So I'm not sure why they've put that in there, but I don't mind because it looks awesome. When I did my fine molds one, which had no battle damage at all, I of course added a big gash down the side here to get that kind of new, Empire Strikes Back look. So maybe it's a hodgepodge of ESB and New Hope, I don't know. It could be that there was damage on the New Hope version, but I just never noticed it. But yeah, there's more beautiful, beautiful paneling detail. I've got to tell you, it's going to be a joy weathering all this because of all these really beautiful panel lines. We're going to have much fun. This is sprue number 6. Number 7, crinkly time. I've not taken it out of the bag. Number 7, sprue number 7, clear parts. Only 4. We've got the cockpit and canopy. We've got the 2 windows for the gunner seat areas, the cupolas, and we've got the back wall for the cockpit. You probably can't see this on camera. The back wall for the cockpit. Now, you do have options of using these clear parts for windows, or if you want no glass in the cockpit windows and the gunwells, you've got just frame options instead. I'm not going to use the clear parts because I don't want to have clear parts in the windows. I prefer the studio model look, but we're going to maybe use this cockpit canopy cover. That might come in handy for when we're doing the painting and the airbrushing, just to mask off the canopy rather than physically masking it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these are the clear parts. This is sprue number 7. Sprue 8, dead simple, it's your display base. Yes, this is the display base. Now, people who have made a perfect grade Gumpler, perhaps the Unicorn or the Gundam Exia, may recognise this base plate. I think it's the same one, basically, they've used in a few perfect grade Gundam kits. Of course, these bits will be different because these are for mounting the Falcon, but this bit, I'm pretty sure, is the same as a number of the Gumpler kits. And you can't really blame them for reusing bits if they work. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So good stuff. I also don't understand why these 2 holes here line up perfectly with 2 holes in the wrapping paper. It's weird. Anyway, yes, sprue number 8. Sprue number 9, it's a weird one. I don't know what plastic this is. The instruction books list it as SAN. I don't know what SAN means, but this is basically clear frosted plastic. These are the light diffusing plates for the rear and for the main engines at the back. I don't know why I say the main engines, there's only the engines. These are the diffuser plates that make the light look, hopefully, I mean I don't know, hopefully they make it look like diffuse engine glow rather than just a set of LED bulbs. So these are purely functional, they're just purely to disrupt that light and make it look more fogged. But yes, very strange plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but that is sprue number, I don't know now, what are we on, 8? Sprue number 8, I'll say 8, it could be 9, I've lost it already. Sprue number 8. Okay, so assuming that last bit was correct, sprue number 9. Yes, here we go. Now, if you watch me do my D'Agostini build, my D'Agostini Millennium Falcon, and when I say watch me do, I mean watch me not do most of it, You'll more than recognise this. It's the cockpit tube. Yes, it's as far as I got on the Diag build. It's a big fat cockpit tube. We've got the tube itself, upper and lower, and we've got the canopy there. And if you remember, we're going to use the canopy frame, not the clear canopy part, because trust me, you don't want the clear canopy part. It's more accurate to the filming miniature, and also it'll look much better anyway. Lots of details. We've got the rec tenor dish and the base that it goes on, and we've also got these beautiful little details here. I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but look at that. Not only is it like a roundy bit with ribbing on it, it's also got recessed areas underneath the ribbing, and this is the kind of moulding you will not rarely ever see. You will not rarely, that's not even real English, you'll rarely see outside of Bandai. That is just, it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't sing Bandai's praises enough, which is why I said, if you've always been a bit leery about push fit kits because you remember snap fit kits, don't worry about it. This is light years ahead of anything you've ever built before, and it's just fantastic. If you've never tried a Bandai kit, go and get one, especially the Star Wars ones. Go and get one, you'll love it. Just trust me. Trust your Uncle Fox. That is sprue number 9, sprue number 10, sprue 11, little bits of landing gear. Sprue 12, and we're in the black bits. We've got the insides of the engine exhaust that go on the top upper area of the hull, and we've got these gunwales, and we've got the cockpit interiors, all with beautiful details etched onto them, molded into them. Fantastic, lovely details that we'll be getting rid of because they're utterly irrelevant if you want to use the water slide decals. Yeah, they're not required at all. Where's the dashboard? Where's the flight console? There, you can see on the console there. Lots of lovely detail. We're not going to use any of that, none of it. That was sprue number, I've forgotten already, 12, 11, I'll say 11. 11's good, a good number. Let's say 12, 12. Stick to 12. Next two sprues, the same sprue both times. We've got the control vanes that go on the back of the engine outlet, would you call it? Not the engine nozzle, it's like a bit big for a nozzle really. The big hole at the back where all the worms come out, these are the little control vanes that, you know, thrust vector nozzle things. I don't know, I don't do planes. And some of the exhaust ports, and the little sort of raised bits that hold the vent nozzle vane cover things. I'm not using my words today. 12 and 13, it's 14. I'm probably getting the numbers wrong. 14. More hull parts, this time relating to the ramp and a random bit inside. 15, 16, and also 17. Yeah, same sprue twice. It's the escape pod bits and the frames for the gunwale windows and the parts for the quad cannons. Now, interestingly, on these sprues, you do get plastic grills for the engines. This is because these sprues come from the standard edition of the kit. All the plastic sprues, it's the same as in the standard edition where you don't get lighting or photo etch, but you get the plastic grills. So we do get these, but we're not going to use these because we have the photo etch. I forgot the numbers. This is sprue, I don't know, B, it's F. Sprue, let's say sprue number. I can't go back and watch it. Let's just not give a number. The next sprue, we've got yeah, I'm not planning this. We've got parts for the escape patches, the bits that go on. And if you can hear a noise, by the way, it's my belly shouting at me. I do apologise. It's making all kinds of shouty noises, which is stupid because I'm not even hungry. I've had my lunch. Anyway, sprue. It's actually sprue WB, but you know, this sprue, because I've forgotten the sprue numbers now and I've lost track of what I'm talking about. Sprue 1 and 2. Yes, same sprues again. We've got the side detail. Well, not exactly the same sprue, but very similar. We've got some of the sidewall details and bits for the sides of the mandible area. Now, 2 points of interest here. First of all, I don't know if it'll come out, but look at the detailing on that. All the little cross hatching and the sort of checker plate effect. That is insane. Even on the fine mold kit, this was just flat plastic with the 2 ribs. This has got all this extra detail that, to be honest, you're never going to see anyway because it's hidden away in the mandibles, but that is just beautiful. My mind is blown by this kit. And also we have the 2 pieces that go well, one of them goes alongside the cockpit on the hull, on the starboard side of the hull, just where the cockpit meets it, and I think it's this one. And the other side has this piece here. Now, if you didn't know this, remember this is made of, when they made this model for filming, it's lots of kit bash parts. These 2 pieces, that one and this one, they are halves of a 1/12 scale Porsche, could be a Carrera, could be a 911, I can't remember. It's 1/2 of the engine block. with some extra bits stuck on. So when you see Han sat there and he's in the cockpit and you see this bit of engine block alongside him on the hull outside, it's half a Porsche engine. And I said Porsche, not Porsche. I do apologise. Half of a Porsche engine block stuck on the side of the Millennium Falcon. D and E, these are, I'll go off the letters now. D and E, there you go. I don't know the numbers. D and E, done. Sprue H, I'll just have to go off the letters, I've lost track. Sprue H, Y, no, I mean Y, it's Sprue Y. Lots of sidewall details, lovely, lovely details, just waiting for things to be stuck on the sides alongside them. Sprue C, and it's mandible time. Yes, a couple of the recess bays that go under there, and the upper hull area of 10 mandibles. Lots of lovely, beautiful panel lines, ticks, marks, squares, and details. Love it. T2, inside 2 more gunwale parts. Again, these details, we'll probably end up scraping all these off. I think we might not, I don't know yet. I don't know what the decals are like. But you've got the gunwale walls, the seat, the gunner seat, and the rack and thing that the seat goes on. That's Sprue T2. Sprue S2, more mandible parts, more escape hatch sidewall corridor parts, and a mysterious brown thing that I don't know what that's for yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. S2. S1, more of the corridor parts, some recessed maintenance bay parts, and some little plant-on detail. I've started saying that now, plant-on details, because of D'Agostini. Greebles is the word, greebles or greeblies. That's what these puppies are. Sprue B, not a duplicate, don't worry, it's the same, it's a different sprue, but it's the same parts. These are the lower parts, I think, for the 2 mandibular mandibles, I think, up and lower. It could be 1 mandible, I don't know yet. We'll find out when we build it. Sprue B. Sprue Q. Sprue Q has lots of little sidewall details. We've got lots of recessed areas. These beautiful things here, which I'm trying to vaguely remember where the hell they come from. It might be a crane cut. It might be the... I'm thinking it might be the Airfix pontoon bridge set, but I'm not sure. I don't think it is. It looks very similar, but it's not quite the same. And lots of recessed panel details. Yeah, we're going to have great fun with this. It is fun actually trying to see all the details that come from other kits, like the oft repeated bits of tanks. This is either it might be a King Tiger, like a panel off a King Tiger with some engine details. They're all over. You've got some winch parts. What else have we got? As we go through the build, I'll try and find things that I recognise from various kits and other things, and we'll try and point them out. We'll do some greeble hunting. Just having a look now, I can't see anything here apart from that. I think is part of an engine block. That is also part of an engine block with holes for exhausts, or for the exhaust manifold, but they just have something else sticking out. We'll find more as we go along, and we'll do little greeble hunts. So that is Sprue Q. However, that's not everything, because there's still this mysterious box. What could be in here? Let's have a look. It is basically more sprues. Yeah, it's got more sprues coming in. Now, the reason these are in a separate little box is because these are the delicate sprues with a billion-ty, tiny, fiddly, and I've kept them in the packaging to keep them safe, fiddly tubes and pipes. Yes, this is all the piping and tubing and delicate twiddly-fiddly parts that are going to go all over the hull. And they're in these bags and separately packed in a box because they're as delicate as anything and they'll get destroyed. Now, I've got to tell you, I've got to be honest, I'm going to make you a bet. I'm going to bet you 10 pence, 10 whole shiny pence, that I break some, most, all of these. I don't know. They're so delicate. After building the fine molds one, which had much thicker pipes and tubes, they were much thicker than this. This is really like hair thin. The fine molds one, they were much thicker, but I still had a hell of a time getting them off the sprue without breaking them. And then when cleaning them up and getting rid of nubs and sanding them was a challenge because they were so breakable. These are even thinner. So I guarantee you that no matter how careful I am, I'm going to break a whole mess of these. I'm going to snap the crap out of them. Like, look at that's just going to, this piece here, that's just destined to give me maximum sadness. That's just a sad factory. Things like that, that big long straight one there, yeah, you cut that end, it'll snap in the middle. You cut it in the middle, it'll snap there. Now I could of course use a careful use of, say, a modelling saw, but the country's in a bit of a lockdown right now. I can't quite get, you know, get hold of one. So yeah. So lots of delicate little twiddly pieces. Let's hope I don't break too many of them. You do also get the crew on these sprues. And you can see there we've got Han Solo, we've got Chewbacca, we've got Luke Skywalker, we've got C-3PO, we've got Ligo Garnanana, and we've got Old Man Beardy Boy. We've got all the people there. Now I've got to say, it's quite amusing. Not that I want to take the mickey out of Bandai, but they are more used to doing little anime style figures with their Gunpla. So the human proportions are not quite normal on these figures. They seem to have like an extra foot of torso where you wouldn't normally have an extra foot length of torso. I don't know if you can really see on camera, but Han, his torso should stop about there, but it carries on to his butt. So yeah, they've got some extra midriff going on there, which doesn't really matter because they're going to be in the cockpit and hidden away. Now as to who I'm putting in the cockpit, it's going to be Han and Chewie, obviously. Han and Chewie have got to be in there. Sorry, Han and Chewie. Han and Chewie. And then we've got, I'll probably put, I'm going to put 3PO in the back. Never tell me the odds. I'm going to put 3PO in the back, and then maybe Luke or maybe old Ben. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out. But obviously we'll show you how. Stop saying we. It's me. I will show you how to paint the figures up. So that's all the sprues now. I'm going to try and jam these back in the box. The last thing to show you is the fun stuff. We have a little sheet of sticky stickers. I did say there were some stickers in this kit. These, as far as I can tell, are light blocking stickers. They're little what's the word I'm looking for? They're reflective metallic stickers. You just self-adhesive, you plonk them on. And these are for blocking some inside areas in the upper hull where the engine exhaust and stuff are, purely because that's where all the lighting is for the engine exhaust. And some bits it may shine through holes or little thin parts of plastic. So I assume they've done checks and found that's where you need to block the light a bit. So yes, we've got some light blocking stickers, self-adhesive. We have some beautiful photo etch, which is bizarrely thinner. Like I said, everything on this model was super detailed and thin. Even the photo etch is like a third the thickness. I'll start that whole sentence again. My words aren't working today. Even the photo etch is a third the thickness of normal photo etch. It's like paper, and the detail on it is absolutely stunning. I love it. That is beautiful. Now, one of the beauties of photo etch is it allows you to have much more detailed parts that you can't get in plastic. And this is the advantage of this is for the engine grills and for this bit that goes around the cockpit tube. Now, the amazing thing to keep in mind, remember I said Bandai, they're masters of push fit kits like you've never seen before. All these photo etch parts don't need glue. There's no glue in this kit. These all go in by magic and skullduggery and conniving and shenanigans. They don't need glue. So these will be the friendliest photo etch you've ever done. And they are beautiful. I love those. This is also the bits that, oh, that's the thing. This and these water slide decals, you do not get any of these or the lighting kit in the standard edition. Remember I said at the start, if you're looking at getting one of these kits, make sure if you want all this, you have to make sure you get the non-standard edition. If it says standard edition on the front, or if it's got a colour photograph of the Falcon on the front, that's not this one. You won't get any of this or the lighting kit. If it doesn't say standard edition, it's a black and white sort of ghosty photograph, that is the one with the decals. And the decals are what you want, because look at these. Oh, many decals, Mahoney. Not only all the panel decals that you can paint these yourself if you want. There is an advantage to using the decals in the kit though, and that is that they include all the weathering, all the chipping that ILM would have put into the markings themselves. You can do that yourself. It's very easy, a bit of airbrush and a bit of masking fluid, a bit, maybe a pin or a cocktail stick. It's not hard to do at all. The beauty of using the in-kit decals though is that they've got the chipping more accurate to this filming miniature than you'll probably get by just doing it yourself. So if you want it to be as accurate as possible, just use the decals. They're not hard to use. I'm going to use these decals anyway to save me masking and airbrushing, and so I can get the colours about right. But yeah, all the chipping will look fantastic. Now you also get cockpit decals, which is where we're going to have to file down all the cockpit parts. Do not try and put these decals onto the cockpit with all the raised bits in it. They won't work. They won't stick. It'll look terrible. All these nice crisp straight lines will vanish. You won't get any of that if you try and stick that on the cockpit part as it is. It does make me sad that they give you this wonderfully, beautifully detailed cockpit but they don't give you a flat featureless version as an alternative for these. It's because, again, the standard version is the same plastic, it's the same sprue. So the standard version, you'd have to paint your own anyway, because you wouldn't get this water slide. So if you're going to use these water slides, you need to sand off all that detail, and I'll show you how to do that. We do get some frame parts for the cockpit and for the gunnery areas. We're not going to need those. Again, I don't know why they put these in. That's if you're going to use the clear part, I suppose, but you could just mask them off and paint them. That probably wouldn't look that great, but we're not going to use those. And then we have these beauties here. Look at all these little tiny markings. Look at all that. Yes. Now, when they made the filming miniature, of course, what they did was they went down the street to their local model hobby store, which had loads of, like, you know, Tamiya and Monogram and AMC kits and things like that at the time, mid-70s, and they bought everything. They cleared the place out. And they had lots of Tamiya tanks and planes and cars and trucks and all kinds of things. And they didn't just kit bash these and take the parts off those models for parts to stick on the Falcon. They also used all the decals that came with those models and cut them up into little bits and stuck them all over. If you look at the studio model of the Millennium Falcon, any of them, you will see something you never saw on screen, a billion to billion little tiny markings all over it, and they've reproduced them here, and they are stunning. Because you can see there are, I've not got the right glasses on now, but somewhere in here there are a couple of Champion spark plug markings. There's a bit of a marine sticker that's been cut up to half say Marines. You've got little markings. You've got the one here that's upside down. Don't know if you'll see it on camera. Where is it? It's this one here, and it says "Drive safely." It's underneath the Falcon at the back, where nobody would ever see it on camera, but it's a little in joke for the guys that made the model. It says "Drive safely." And if you're making a Falcon yourself and you want it to be nice and accurate, go and find some reference photos for the Falcon. There's loads of them over the web. For the studio model, there's loads of little markings, and I had a quick look, and the markings they've got on here, they are spot on, and they've got most of them and the instructions as well. So I've got millions of these little things. We're going to have a lot of fun putting all these on all over the place. You could do some good logo spotting. What else is there? There's lots of little sort of random warning markings here and bits and bobs. There's a Michelin man in there somewhere. You've got the instrument panel from a fighter plane there. All kinds of bits and bobs. We're going to have great fun with those. So yes, if you do want to make sure you get these, if you get the standard version of this kit, you will get this as a sticker sheet, and you peel each sticker off, and they're on clear background, but you peel each one off and you stick it down. If you're going to go to all the effort of painting your Falcon, don't get the standard edition. You want the water slide decals, because the stickers will look like garbage. You can manually paint all this stuff if you want to, that's fine, if you want to go for the standard edition, but this you can't. They'll just stick up above the surface and they'll look like stickers, so I wouldn't bother. If you can afford it, go for the Ponzi version with the nice water slide decals. They're fantastic. So there you go, that is all those bits, and that is everything that is in the box. So that's going to do us for this episode. It was only a quick looky see around the box to see what you get. You get the instructions back. It's only a quick looky see round to see what we have in the box. And what we're going to do, the next episode, of course, we'll make a start. We'll get the lighting rig set up, which is just a quick test area, and then we start on, bizarrely, the cockpit, which is where most Falcon kits actually start, in the cockpit, getting the people all done in and painted up. And we'll have to do some painting in that episode, because you get the cockpit all painted up. We might do, actually, because it's a, this is the thing, because it's a Bandai kit, we can get the cockpit done and then we can reassemble things and take them apart again. So you don't have to necessarily follow the painting order that you would if this was a traditional glue kit. So you get a bit more freedom. So we shall work our way through anyway. So thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget, this has been filmed and will be filmed for emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. They are my very, very good friends. They have provided this kit to me free of charge. I will be returning it to them once it's built. I don't get to keep it, but I like to be transparent. They have provided this kit for me. Do go and check them out. They've got everything you need for model making. We always say if they haven't got it, you don't need it. There's plenty of other things they'll have that would be just as good. If you're interested in getting this kit, though, it does go in and out of stock quite quickly, because as soon as it appears, people snap it up. So if you want to pick one of these up and it's not there, you can't find it, don't panic. It's just temporarily out of stock. If you need to, give the guys a shout. You can use the contact form on the website, or give them a call, or drop them an email, however you want to do it, and just say, hey guys, when will you get the Bandai Falcon back in again? And make sure that you're asking them for the non-standard lighting and water slides version. If you want the standard version, make sure you ask them for the standard version, because they'll need to know which one you're after, and they'll let you know when it's going to be back in stock. But it does go out of stock quite quickly, so if you do see one in store and you're after one, snag it, don't leave it, slap it in your basket, as Ted would say. Yes, but they do come back in quite quickly, so get your foot down and get it grabbed. But that's going to do us. In the next episode, like I say, we'll crack on with the cockpit. Until then, do take care of yourselves, be safe, go make something awesome like this, go be awesome, and until next time, adios amoebas. emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome.